Okay, back again, another live stream broadcast or podcast or whatever it is. So basically, I have finally got another unintentional free time. So there's no unintentional free time in the weekend because, yeah, most likely I need to, I don't know, maybe try to follow or leave since there's no one home. So I don't know how to tell this because probably it's something that a little bit embarrassing. But anyway, I basically try to do bi-weekly or weekly hangout with my college friend as usual. And also during that time, I finally tried to do something that I basically already quite a long time ago for not trying to do it again. Since initially I really wanted to fulfill my desire first before I try to do those kind of thing, but it turns out I need to do the practice with what I currently had right now. So yeah, I just don't know whether if I basically want to fulfill my desire, expensive desire, or not, because yeah, that will be a waste a lot of money, even though it will decrease every year, obviously, unless it's basically turned into rare stuff. But yeah, most likely it will not, because for some reason something that's basically related to rare things is probably pretty hard to get as well in the first place. So that's the reason why. And basically, not all of the rare stuff is basically gonna be expensive, because some of them are actually stable or even not really easy to be sell, because probably it was not so popular. I just don't understand. So yeah, that's the reason why. And I don't know, there's still several months that I basically need to prevent any kind of unnecessary desires, to, I don't know, to make the desire easier to be achieved, even though yeah, it will still not enough, because if it will need to be achieved entirely from what I need to prevent from the desires, it will definitely more than a year, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably definitely more than a year, and it will too many waste of money as well, because yeah, probably the current one is technically need to change rather than having an additional one which will probably not gonna be used. So unless it was pretty cheap, I guess. But I don't know, buying second-hand stuff is not really preferable from my family perspective. So even though I do really like buying second-hand things, but yeah, in terms of something expensive, I don't know, because even though yeah, something is not gonna be that wrong, but it was something that's pretty big, so it will become old iron perhaps, or basically it's just needs some restoration. So the things that I see last week, that's basically very cheap, the cheapest, not basically, I used to see the cheaper things than what I see last week. But yeah, it turns out it was sold in the weekend, probably, I'm not sure. So at the time that I basically want to fulfill, perhaps, I don't know, because I just got the reveal in the weekend for the monthly salary, obviously. Even though, yeah, it's just the exact point that I basically need to use another savings to fulfill my cheap desires, because yeah, I just want to make it really, I don't know, even though it's basically not really make a huge difference, but when it comes to constant desires, I do realize that I have basically waste a lot of money all this time that I basically try to work again after focusing on my education. So yeah, that's the reason why. And what else that I basically want to talk about? I don't know. I basically want to already confess that I basically wanted to do something in several months ahead, but I don't know whether it's gonna be work or not, because I basically want to set a target in certain point of time in the future. Hopefully later in late this year, I already able to be more productive in terms of something that you want to achieve in this world or even in the afterlife. Even though, yeah, if you talk about something that's related to the afterlife or when you're already gone from this world, it will quite hard to be consistent, to be, I don't know, never had any kind of decrease productivity, because at some reason you basically got a lot of or more busyness with the world things than usual, which you will basically most likely sacrificing something that's basically relate to the future, the last future that we basically will achieve no matter what. So that's the reason why at some point something that's basically pretty distant in the future will definitely got a very little prioritization, even though yeah, it doesn't always be like that, because for some reason when you always try to achieve something in this world in a very short amount period of time, and it just most likely let you down because something that's turned out not the way that it was supposed to be, but something that's basically the last or the finish line is the one that should be something that's really goes the way that we are expected according to what we have done or how much effort that we have done in this world. So that's the reason why at some point I basically want to make it balanced as possible, because if something that in this world that I cannot achieve or doesn't goes the way that I expected, at least I still have something for the distant, very distant in the future that I will got the same like what I was expected. So yeah, it was pretty weird, weird, weird things to say or hard to explain, but yeah. Oh well, it's already almost 10 minutes, so after this, I basically will try to prepare native language podcast, perhaps, even though I already finished uploading or processing the whole previous session, which lasts until next week, just like is usual. So the bi-weekly processing time for the native language podcast will end up next week, even though I already tried to prepare the whole session as well for the next season, which is around 7 episodes, and I probably wanted to prepare more after this because previously I already tried to do a good behavior recording as usual, which I have already done for around almost half an hour, but it's already pretty exhausted to me. I just don't know why. Probably because I'm in a different mood, perhaps because for some reason I just don't know what kind of things that basically can make me satisfied. Besides just dreaming about something in the future that I just don't know whether it will be come true or not, because yeah, when you try to be dreaming something that's probably easier, it can still be goes sideways. So I just don't know whether if I try to dream much harder things to achieve, is it gonna be the way that I expected, or the way that I dream of, or it's basically far bigger, unexpected, or sideways. I don't know. It's just getting weirder. I think I need to stop this live stream because yeah, I probably didn't will not have quite long time for this unintentional free time, even though tomorrow and the day after tomorrow is basically a weekly scheduled free time, even though yeah, I think there is some meeting that I need to attend as well for tomorrow. I'm not sure. Hopefully it will not be very long, or it's basically can be done asynchronously, which is even better. So yeah, what else? I basically already tried to do many. I don't know. It's not many because yeah, there's still so many things that I basically can prepare related to the same content, but related to the different content that I can think of. It's just so limitless. There's still so many things that I basically wanted to do, even one that I currently forgot, probably because I need to see my notes first, perhaps, to see what kind of things that I used to write in the past related to something that I wanted to do as a content creator. So yeah, it will be a lot of things. Most likely it will be harder to do as well because for some reason, if you talk about the productivity content that I try to do right now, it's basically pretty easy. Just try to utilize any kind of content that I try to do in another platform and try to re-upload it with a little bit adjustment in terms of the footage. So that's the reason why I think I will try to publish this live stream into the podcast, the several kind of podcast platform. Perhaps I'm not sure whether it will finally give this English podcast a little bit more attraction, and probably I will try to create a different account as well for my native language podcast to be published on several podcast platform, dedicated podcast platform. So yeah, that's the reason why I know it's definitely getting harder all the time because other people are trying to do the same thing. More and more people, even the old ones, still trying to compete with the new one, which is the new one is definitely struggle and to compete with the old one, the more experienced content creators with all of their, I don't know, advantage or privilege. So yeah, it's already 15 minutes, so basically I just wanted to stop this live stream previously, but I don't know whether I still have something to say before I finally didn't have anything to say anymore for this episode. So, yeah.